The fan above my head made a slow, tired rotation, pushing the heat around my small room. Outside, the world kept moving, cars honking, people laughing, bills piling up, but inside, all I could hear was the sound of the trading platform ticking. Each pip felt like a heartbeat, each loss, a wound reopening. My name's Eli Daniels, and this is how I stumbled into financial freedom. When I finished university, I thought life would hand me a silver spoon. I had a degree in financial accounting, a head full of theory, and 0 job offers. The job market was a graveyard for ambition. Weeks turned to months, my friends left for abroad, my rent went unpaid, and my confidence slipped into overdraft. Then one night, scrolling through social media, I saw a post, Trade Forex.
Trade Forex.
Be your own boss. It showed a man in a luxury car, smiling like he'd never known failure. I should have known better, but desperation is a powerful salesman. I watched videos, read blogs, downloaded MetaTrader, and deposited my last $200. It was supposed to be a small test. It became an obsession. At first, it was magic. I doubled my account in 3 days. Gold went up. I went with it. Every win made me feel like a genius, like I'd cracked a secret code the world didn't want me to know. But pride is a dangerous thing. By the 4th day, I over-leveraged. I watched red numbers bleed across the chart, my profits vanishing faster than my breath. When the final trade closed, my balance was 0. That night, I couldn't sleep. My mind replayed the moment, the flash of red, the margin call, the emptiness. That was the first time I heard the whisper. It wasn't real, of course. Just the voice in my head saying, "You failed again, Eli." Just like always, I was 17, sitting beside my father at the kitchen table. He was a small business owner, proud, but struggling. That night, he stared at a stack of bills, shaking his head. Debt will eat you alive, he said. But greed will finish the job. He lost the business 6 months later. When the bank took everything, he blamed himself, and I watched that guilt rot him from the inside. That memory never left me. Every loss on my screen felt like his voice repeating, "Don't be greedy. Don't lose everything." Still, I didn't quit. I borrowed money, telling myself I'd recover it, that I just needed one good trade. But trading while desperate is like playing chess with fire. You can't win without burning. Days blurred into weeks. My emotions swung between euphoria and despair. I stopped eating properly. I stopped calling friends. I stared at charts until my eyes hurt. I blew 5 accounts in 6 months. Every loss felt like betrayal. Every win, like revenge. I was chasing ghosts, money, pride, validation. Until the night I almost gave up. It was raining hard. The light from my laptop flickered against the wet walls. My account was at $80. I had one trade left, a gold buy. I stared at it, shaking. Then I heard my father's voice again. Debt will eat you alive. Greed will finish the job. I closed the trade before it hit stop loss. I turned off the screen. And I cried. That night changed everything. The next morning, I started over, not with money, but with mindset. I began reading about risk management, the one thing I had always ignored. I learned that trading wasn't about winning big, it was about surviving. I studied how professionals think, how they protect capital, compound small gains, and wait. It was humbling. I deposited $100 again, but this time, I risked only 1% per trade. I journaled every move, entry, exit, emotion. When I felt the urge to overtrade, I wrote instead. Weeks passed, then months. Slowly, I grew, not my balance, but my discipline. I learned that consistency beats excitement, that patience is the real practice. And one day, I checked my account. $100 had become $1,200. Not much to most people, but to me, it was everything. It wasn't luck, it was proof. As the months rolled by, compounding became my closest ally. 1% a day turned into 20% a month. I stopped chasing the market and started understanding it. The emotional scars remained, but they kept me grounded. Sometimes, I'd still hear my father's voice, but now it sounded different. Softer, proud. By the 2nd year, I was withdrawing profits, paying rent, even helping my mother with bills. My trades became cleaner, my life calmer. I built rules. Never trade without a stop loss. Never risk more than you can lose. Never trade out of boredom or revenge. I became the trader I once pretended to be. One evening, while staring at my screen, I caught my reflection in the dark glass, calm, steady, older somehow. I realized trading hadn't just changed my finances. It had changed me. It taught me patience where I once had panic. Discipline where I once had desire. Purpose where I once had pain. The market didn't make me rich, it made me real. Now, when I watch those charts dance in red and green, I don't chase them. I listen to them. I respect the rhythm, the risk, the reward. And when I think back to the broke graduate who started this journey, I smile. Because I know now,